Hey everybody, it's Missy. Thanks for joining me again today. I'm back with a new layout for the Cocoa Vanilla Studio design team, and our theme this week is Mother's Day, since that's coming up this weekend. And so the first thing I thought of was the beautiful Wild at Heart collection, and I've been wanting to do some kind of layout with these butterflies. I haven't really used them yet, and I was in the mood to fussy cut. So what I'm going to do is take some papers that I've already cut into and create a layout. And I'm going to use this picture of me and my sister and my mom from back in December. It's one of my favorite pictures of us, and I just love it so much. And so I'm going to scrap it, and I printed it in color because I thought the colors went really well with the colors in these butterflies. So I'm not going to cut all of those out, but I am going to cut several of them out, and I'm going to get the yellow ones, the pink ones, the navy blue ones, and then the lighter blue color. And I love this color scheme. It's got my favorite colors in it, but just different tones. They're more, the blue is darker and the pink is darker. The yellow is a little bit different, but I love the addition of the navy. I love that. And so I'm going to make that work in my layout. And so I'm just going to finish fussing cutting out some of these butterflies. And I've been on a kick lately using pattern paper for a background, and I don't know why I'm grabbing my white paint lately, but I've done this for my last few layouts instead of gesso, and I really don't even know why. They both work great. I mean, they're totally different textures. The paint dries a lot quicker, and it covers up patterns a lot quicker because it's thicker than gesso. But I don't know, I was just in the mood to do something different, and so I'm gonna kind of situate my photo over to the upper left area and then kind of make a diagonal down towards the right area. And I wanted to focus on the whole butterfly theme for this, and so I searched through my cut files. This is one that I got recently from the Just Nick store, and it's actually part of a cluster of butterflies, but I just traced one and blew it up, and I want to keep it white because I want to do sort of like a subtle tone on tone thing with this white butterfly in the background. So you're going to be able to see it, but I'm not going to add any color to it or anything. And I wanted to use it as a layering piece. So of course, you know me, when I add white stuff to my background, you know I'm going to add some liquid to it or some paint. So I pulled out some of my shimmers. This is a pink spritz. It's called Cotton Candy, and I'm just trying to pull in some of the colors that are in those polka dots on the background. And this paper is called Double Dots. And this is a golden yellow color, and a lot of this is going to be covered up with the picture and the big butterfly, and so I'm just trying to get some color on there. And I don't have believe this, of all the sprays and paints that I have, I did not have that deep reddish pink color, and if I did, I couldn't find it. So what I'm going to do is use a red gelato and just smudge it with my fingers and kind of mix it in with that deeper pink color, and it creates the perfect color. And I love mixing and matching products like that because you get your own unique colors. Now this is one of the newer shimmers. It's called Pasties, and this is the blue color. I think it's called Baby Boy Blue, and it's almost like it's a very light, almost periwinkle blue color, especially when you hold it up next to some of the colors in this collection. It goes perfectly. So I'm just going to smudge it around with my palette knife and just kind of put it in some areas where I don't already have yellow and pink, and I love how that's looking. I'm just going to keep adding some liquids. I'm going to do some splatters, and I add more as I go. Just when I start adding embellishments and things, things get covered up, and so if I can't see it, I'm going to add some more to it. And I've been on a gelato kick lately. I love adding them to sprays like this because you can use the liquid of the spray to help blend and smudge the gelato, and you get a really cool color because the liquid already has color in it. So instead of water, you could use sprays to help smudge it around. I'm just going to add a little bit of tissue paper behind my picture there, just to give it a little bit of a messy, subtle border. And I love how that looks. And so the fact that I added the white paint, it blended out and faded away a lot of those dots. It kind of gave me sort of a white background, I guess you could say, to really let the colors of the paint and the photo just kind of pop off the page. Because sometimes when you add things to a busy background, you know, things get lost and you don't see it as much. So that's why I like to do the gesso or the white paint to cover up some of the busyness of the pattern, because it still gives you sort of a white space to work with and also allows everything else to kind of pop off the page, but you've still got all those dots going around the perimeter. And you can still see the dots through some of the white paint. It's just very subtle, and I love that effect. So I used some of the darker pinkish red thread, and now I'm going to start to place those butterflies that I cut out. And I just kind of wanted them scattered like they're coming from behind the picture and a little bit layered on top of the picture. And I know that that big butterfly is going to stay put, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue. Not a lot, because I want the edges to kind of raise up and for it to look a little bit dimensional. And it's going to come off the page, so I'm just going to hack off that messed up looking wing where I had to slice and dice. I knew I was going to run it off the page anyway, so it didn't matter. I'm going to add some adhesive foam behind my picture just to give it a little bit of lift. And just adding that little bit of foam underneath a photo or an embellishment, it makes such a big difference. It really adds great dimension and just kind of makes your layout look so different rather than it just being completely flat. And I'm just adding a little bit of glue to the center of each of those butterflies so the wings will stay flapped up. And now I'm just going to start playing with embellishments. This is the Rubber Charms pack, and I'm going to use that little pink piece that says "So Very Beautiful." And then I'm going to mix and match here. I'm going to try out several things, some wood veneer, some of the ephemera, some stickers, that's from the accessory sheet, some chipboard. I decided to fussy cut this out, and this is from I believe this paper is called Fussy Cuts. I love that font, and I love the blue. I want to pull in some more of the navy, so I'm going to fussy cut out this love. And then I also cut out the together piece there, and that was also from the Fussy Cuts paper. And I cut little fishtail edges on it, so it kind of looked like a little banner piece. And so I like that because it said together, because we were together. And I'm just going to layer that underneath the "So Very Beautiful." And that's going to just serve as my title, you know. Just because you're doing a layout about Mother's Day does not mean the title has to be Mother's Day, you know. I mean, it's all about the memory, and you know, I know who those people are, and I like the title. I think it looks great. I'm going to keep fussy cutting. I really like this peachy light pink color, watercolor almost looking scalloped border, and I'm just going to cut that out and use that as a little bit of a layering piece on the bottom of my picture. And I added a little memories sticker up at the top. And everything is kind of tilted on the diagonal, and I like how that looks. It's not so diagonal where, you know, it's sideways, but it's just a little bit kind of whimsical and kind of goes with the whole feel of the butterflies, just kind of, because, you know, they don't fly in a straight line, they kind of go all over the place. And so I wanted it to be a little bit crooked. And then I'm going to add in a couple of these little phrase stickers from the accessories sticker sheet. And then I decided I need to white out a little bit more down here around this wing. It was still too bold with the dots, and I felt like I needed a little bit of blue down there, the light periwinkle blue color. So I wanted to give a little bit of a white smudge there to kind of white out some of the circles, and then come in with some blue. And I'm really enjoying using a palette knife lately. It smudges and smears wonderfully. And I need to get another one because that one has got stuff dried all over it. And I've almost roughed up the edge because I've scraped so much. I'm going to come back to that pasties, the blue, and just very lightly add some blue underneath that wing just to give a little pop of that blue down at the bottom. And I love how this is looking. I love, you know, I love making backgrounds like this, but I love when I have one big design element and it just helps the layout come together so much faster, and that's that big butterfly. Once I added that, the rest of this sort of just kind of fell into place because I knew where my picture was going to go, and then everything else was just a matter of little embellishments here and there. Now these I have not used yet. These are the most beautiful enamel dots I've ever seen. They have glittery sparkles on them. They are so pretty. And I also added a butterfly flare button down there in the bottom right. And that thread is a light blue periwinkle-ish color. And I've said this so many times, but thread is a great, easy, and cheap way to add color and texture somewhere. Like right in that little spot, I felt like it needed a little pop of blue. Add some thread. I felt like I needed some yellow down here at the bottom underneath that flare button, because the paper's white and the flare button's white, kind of blends in. So to make it stand out, make a little circle of thread and stick it right in the middle of it. And I used yellow, and so now I've got a little pop of yellow down there. And you know, you may not be a fan of the thread, and that is perfectly fine. Everybody has their own thing. I love it, so that's why I use it so much. Now, this is a little piece I cut from the Fussy Cut sheet, and I'm going to add my journaling on it. And I'm going to kind of play around with where I want it. Do I want it straight? But I thought, you know, nothing else is straight, so I might as well continue on with the angle and glue it on tilted, just like that. And this picture was taken back in December, and we were standing in line to go see Dancing with the Stars live tour. We are obsessed with Dancing with the Stars, and so this is our third year. They come on tour every winter and summer, and so we always get tickets. And so, yeah, we were on like the 5th row, and it was amazing. And I have pictures that I haven't scrapped of that, but yeah, that's a whole nother story for another video. There is the final layout. I love how this turned out. I did add a couple more butterflies down there underneath the journaling and my date stamp. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was so much fun to put together. This collection is just gorgeous, and I'm so excited to use it again. So let me know if you have any questions about any of the products or the techniques or anything. Check the link down below to visit the Coco Vanilla Studio store and blog and website. And yeah, that's it. I hope you like the close-ups. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great week. Thanks for watching.